Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening, the Phenom, 10 years the elder of Jon Jones, the champion, who is 4 inches taller, and he will have a 12.5-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission, Commissioner Ken Hayashi. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Richard Bertrand, Doug Crosby, and Jeff Blatnick. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, John McCarthy. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record. 21 wins, 9 losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC Light Heavyweight Champion, presenting the challenger, Vitor, the Phenom Belfort! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a look-see-do fighter, holding a professional record, 16 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 204.5 pounds. Fighting out of Endicott, New York, USA, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones!
Gentlemen, went over the rules in the back. I want you to fight clean, fight hard, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
Jon Jones, Vitor Belfort for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
You ready? You ready? Get up.
Here we go! That was close.
No, hey, you want to play the game?
Could have been a kick to a grounded opponent.
Yeah, I don't think Vitor cares.
There's that oblique kick that he uses so well.
That was a front leg side kick. He actually just threw a side kick to the leg.
Watch for the oblique coming up then, Joe, because he loves to utilize that. Look at this, it's a takedown.
And there's a guillotine attempt by Vitor, and he lands a punch and he's on his back. Not good for Vitor.
And the ground and pound we talked about of Jones, especially with the elbows, absolutely lethal. Belfort has been on his back.
And this could be part of the strategy of Jon Jones, because Vitor Belfort is exceptionally explosive in the beginning of the fight.
Yes.
If he could wear Vitor out, tire him out, it can make things interesting. Now, one thing we've never seen off of Vitor is submissions from his back. He can defend himself from his back. I'm sure he has submissions. Oh, armbar! He's got it! He
Finish it right here. Vitor Belfort looking to finish this fight. Jones trying to power out of it. Can he get it?
He might break that arm, Mike. He might break that arm.
Wow.
You know what? It's a little high now. I think he's out. He's out. He's out.
Wow.
That's one thing we hadn't seen from Vitor before, but he just shows he has it. He just showed he has it. That was very, very close. And he might have popped his arm. We don't know how Jon's arm is right now. We know he got out of that, but it looked hyperextended.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the great late Carlson Gracie. Born and raised in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, not just a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but one who's been one since 1996.
Crazy.
That's a lot of mat time, and you got to know that he trained to be on his back because he knew that John is a sensational wrestler. That was very close.
Tonight, Belfort facing...
He's bloody. The elbow of John Jones has cut Vitor over his right eyelid.
His elbows are just amazingly lethal.
Again, he turns for it. Lost it that time. He's attacking that right arm. And the left elbow again of Jones gets through. And Vitor is a bloody mess already.
It's over the right eye of Vitor Belfort, facing his 8th former or present UFC or Pride champion tonight.
And John hits it. He's hitting that left elbow over and over again. There it is again. Just sneaking it in there. There it is again. Oh, big punch by John.
See the damage done to the eye from those elbows of Jones. Big John McCarthy right on top of the action.
Vitor's got one foot on the hip and the other one on the other side.
Watch your head, John.
There's a lot of blood on Vitor's face. That cut is getting nasty, and that's going to impede his vision. It's pouring now out of his face, and he hit it again. And Vitor's got to control the posture of John Jones to stop this elbow. He's trying to get wrist control now and hold on to that arm, keep that elbow from landing. Vitor's turning the hips from the bottom. He has got to protect that eye. If that thing gets any worse, they could stop it in the first round.
Jones went for the takedown, nearly got armbarred, but is now showcasing his outstanding ground and pound.
And he's doing it all from inside the guard.
Man.
The length of John Jones allows him to put real power into his shots from the guard. Vitor's rolling again. Oh, he tried the armbar on the other side.
Just over 20 seconds on the clock here in the first round. Will Jones allow him to get up? Jones takes a look at the clock. I think John Jones is pleased with the way this first round went, even though he was nearly armbarred. Nice shot there.
Now he's in side control.
Round 1 in the books.
Look at his arm.
Yeah, he's holding his arm.
Here's the armbar attempt. Look at this. He's got a hold of it. He's pulling it tight to the bite. Man, that is really hyperextended. If Big John wasn't in the way, get your big ass out of there, Big John. I want to see what's up. And here's the elbow that cut him.
Vitor, you want to fight? Tell him.
Big John knows Vitor Belfort very well.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Absolutely.
What's he looking at his ears for?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Big John was almost, all right, John, thank you. Let's get this thing going again.
Yeah, I love how he handled that.
Absolutely. Remember the Hoist Gracie Matt Hughes fight, knowing Hoist so well. Round 2. Will Jones look to take him down immediately again?
I believe that's most likely the case.
Yeah. Can Vitor start to let those hands go?
Vitor's got to circle out and get to the center of the octagon if he can. Get away from that cage. The cage is going to hinder his movement backwards.
Give it away a foot of reach.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to be able to be boxed in.
There's the one we were talking about before that.
It's a front leg side kick.
Yeah.
It's not the oblique kick which comes off the back leg.
What it does, though, is it keeps your opponent at bay, and also it stops you because your knee buckles
Spinning
back.
elbow attempt there by Jon Jones.
It's an intercepting hit. Head kick by Belfort. Throws with the hands.
I'm curious to see how bad Jon's arm is hurt.
He kind of grabbed the elbow on his way to the corner, Joe.
He certainly did.
So let's see how much he throws the right hand.
That side kick that he's throwing hyperextends the knee. There it is again. He threw it again. He's really stomping on that thigh of Vitor.
Jon, close the hand when it comes out.
He uses it much like the teep in Muay Thai to keep his opponent at distance and use that great reach advantage of his. Used it over and over again against Rampage. Rampage could never get in and engage.
One thing no one's been able to do to Jon so far is attack the legs. No one's been able to throw really effective leg kicks. That was a nice one there by Jon. Oh man, that's a nice technique.
He uses it all the time.
And that's a new wrinkle in his game, man. That's not, we haven't seen that one that much from him before.
He gives a lot of credit to Mike Winklejohn for really broadening his already great set of striking skills. Hard to get inside. Vitor trying to. Vitor needs to move and be first like we talked about before.
Yeah, he's standing right in front of him, and that is not good.
When he did it with Anderson Silva, it didn't end the way Vitor wanted. Round 2 of this championship fight. But a much more controlled pace here.
Front kick to the face, side kick to the thigh. Jon's starting to pick him apart. And Vitor is standing right in front of him. Wow, dropped his hands.
I want to see Vitor come out and throw combinations and force the fight.
Vitor finally threw a leg kick.
Tough right hook. Tough to get those leg kicks to connect, Joe, and you have to stay so far away from your opponent. Nice knee.
He pulled guard. Wow, that's crazy.
90 seconds on the clock here in round 2.
It's amazing he pulled guard, especially considering how much damage he took in that first round to his eye, and the fact that they're slippery right now, which makes submissions much more difficult.
This is a fight that Vitor Belfort wanted. He called Lorenzo Fertitta and said, "Hey, I want this fight."
Vitor's going for that right arm again. He's trying not to telegraph it, but he's making sure that he keeps that left forearm in the crook of the elbow.
Yeah.
He's keeping it in there, and he's trying to move his hips, but he's trying to make sure that he doesn't telegraph it too much. That is what he's going for. He hasn't moved that left arm from that elbow. See how he keeps it doing there? He just doesn't want to telegraph it. But that's what he's going for. He's waiting for the opportunity when Jon Jones makes a mistake. He's waiting to lull him to sleep there.
30 seconds on the clock here in the second. Vitor defending much better here in the second. On his back with Jones in the full guard here. Not the damage that was thrown by the champion in the first round.
There's the opportunity. He heard the clap.
Yep.
He knows
Final seconds of this
round. Put the foot on the hip. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. Triangle attempt.
Final seconds, though, Joe.
What Vitor is doing is like old school Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Patient, wait for your opportunity, wait for your opponent to make a mistake.
Isn't it interesting that Royce Gracie is sitting in the front row watching that?
It certainly is. Well, I'll tell you what, if he was wearing a gi, it'd be even easier to pull off what he's doing.
I'm going to give you your water in your hand, and you drink it when you go. Excellent round, John. Now listen, I need you to pass his guard, okay? He's just sitting in there. So after you strike a little bit, do that knee slip through, okay? Pass his guard. Understand me? And then look for the mount or look for your ground pound.
After distracting you down low, he's so worried about being distracted down low, it's hurting so bad, stab him in the face. All right? Go right through it, stab him in the face. It's easy for you, all right?
Now you're warmed up, you're flowing.
Não para na frente dele. Solta a esquerda. Solta a esquerda. Não
Believe in that 7. Rashad keeps saying, what's the 7? I don't know anything after 3. Jab is 1, right hand's 2, left hook is 3, and then 4 is an uppercut? What's the hell's the 7?
Then you start talking about different combinations, different leg kicks can be.
Well, the thing is, every
6,
coach
7. Yeah,
has
every
a different
exactly.
7, really. Yeah, 7 could be a kick. It could be
just throw the one that works.
Wiggle John was calling for John to attack that thigh over and over again, and then go upstairs once Vitor gets used to it. Man, it's amazing when you consider the fact that this kid didn't grow up with a striking background.
It's crazy. Great wrestler, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that's part of the reasons why he's so good at striking, is he's not worried about being taken down.
Everyone where it goes, Vitor.
Being born with the athleticism that runs in the Jones family doesn't hurt either. Give me a guy who brings the proper toolbox and we can build something.
Side kick to the body, he hurt him, he hurt him, he hurt him. He hurt him with that side kick to the body.
And now the axe kick the same way.
Vitor's in pain here. And that's something rarely seen, that front leg side kick, and it is an effective weapon, especially when you're a tall guy. And John's very, very aware of that right arm, that elbow. Now Vitor's trying to tie it up with an overhook.
Vitor has been with the UFC longer than any active fighter. Wants to win the title here tonight for the first time since 2004.
Vitor's tying up the right arm. Let that go.
3rd round.
He went for an omoplata attempt there, but John slipped out of it. He didn't really secure the body. He's going to let him up.
3 minutes on the clock here in the 3rd. The Phenom. And the white trunks, red trunks for John Jones. Vitor bloodied but far from beaten.
Went for a spinning back kick.
Vitor closed the distance.
Again, stomped that thigh.
Vitor.
John did a good job of keeping his hand up high and defending.
Nice right hand by Jones.
So that shows you that his right hand is okay.
I was thinking the same thing. His right arm, yeah.
Yeah, his elbow might be sore, but it's effective.
Adrenaline's a good painkiller, isn't it? And both of them have a massive amount of it right now.
Why is Vitor tying up with him? That's definitely not a good idea. He needs to get out of there.
Especially upper body with the great Greco of John Jones. He has tossed around some of the finest wrestlers we know.
They pulled him to guard again. Crazy. If he's gonna do that, he's gotta attack more off of his back. You can't just pull him down here and hold on to him. I mean, he did come close in that first round, and he did come at least lock up the triangle. The position of one over the shoulder, one under the shoulder as far as his legs, but.
Well, Belfort's never scored a knockout or submission win in the 3rd round. Of course, this fight could go 5 rounds. Generally, when he wins quickly, explosively. He's won half of the fights that have gone the distance. Jones has finished 7 of his last 8 wins.
You know, John McCarthy's a great referee to have in this situation, because he's going to know when and if a fighter is not being active here on the ground.
Absolutely.
And he will let a guy work if especially he knows a guy like Vitor is trying to set something up. He's not going to just stand him up here. which is important for Vitor's strategy. There's some attempts at ground and pound there by John.
Nothing like the first round, though, Joe.
John slipped over, tried to pass that guard. He's in the half guard now. And Vitor has, he's got half guard. He's trying to hip escape here.
30 seconds on the clock. Like I said, Vitor Belfort,
he's going to get busted
this
up
fight.
with this
So
elbow,
mentally,
man.
he still feels that even though he's being damaged, he can win. 10 seconds. Another elbow by the champion. Headed to the championship rounds for the second time tonight.
That front leg side kick to the body that John Jones landed. Watch this, Mike. Boom, right to the solar plexus. And you see him just try to deal with it. I mean, it's a perfectly placed shot. Try to deal with it, but he's in agony there, and he has to drop down. And that's, I don't think we've ever seen anybody get dropped from a front leg side kick.
Brother, the only thing I need from you is keep your fingers going out towards his face. All right, brother?
John, distractions are killing him. He's looking down, the stab's there. If you commit to it, he goes out with it. You got it? So distractions are there. 22s are there.
He taps.
It's there. It's there.
Olha pra mim aqui agora. Eu não quero que puxe pra guarda. Solta a mão.
Spinning back kick, yes. David Loiseau, Charles McCarthy.
Yeah, we've seen it several times.
Now! Not that one, that's wet. Go get it.
Dennis Seaver.
Dennis Seaver, Nate Moore.
Yeah.
Dennis Seaver's landed on a few people.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. But the front leg side kick of John Jones, first time we've ever seen that.
Ready?
That guy get dropped.
Go.
All right, here's the fourth round. The big question in my mind, Joe, is to be explosive, to get there first, to throw the combinations, to be ultra aggressive. Can he still do it?
Yeah, does he? How much does he have in the tank?
Can he? It's difficult enough to do it because of John Jones's reach and his great ability, but can he do it?
Vitor,
16, 17 minutes into a fight.
He tried a head kick there. He's just hesitated so much in this fight. This is what he needs. He needs a wild exchange.
He needs to be Vitor.
Yeah. Again, he pulls him into his guard. This is so crazy, and he winds up on the bottom in side control here. Oh, he's going to get smushed. This is it. Oh, man, big elbows by John Jones.
Not good for Belfort.
He's trying to get him in the mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right arm. Now he's going for a Kimura.
It is all over!
That's it.
John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Good job, David.
He submits Vitor Belfort to defend his belt for the fourth time.
And he's holding on to that elbow, Mike. I think he really hurt that elbow.
Joe, let's take a look at our fight replay.
And here you see he pins down that arm, wraps it up, and look how he immediately brings it down to the hip. Excellent technique. And that's something that a lot of, even veteran fighters don't do. He pulled that elbow all the way down to the ribs. That's where it's supposed to be. That's where it puts the optimum pressure on the joint.
With that submission victory, John Jones has the most submission victories in UFC light heavyweight history. That was his 6th. Vitor came close early. How close? I'm sure Joe will ask that question to John Jones.
I'm going to go ask it right now.
But after all has been said and done, the last 5 months, look how difficult it is for him to put on his shirt.
Love you guys.
John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion and one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon. And he's 25 years old.
Destroyed him, dude. Destroyed him with his legs. Love you. You broke him. You all right, Mama? Let's go. Mama, I got to put the hat on you. Good job.
Vitor wanted this fight. He did everything he could. But this kid is the now generation Jon Jones. And that belt is going to be put around his waist again. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy's called a stop to this contest at 54 seconds of round number 4. Declaring the winner by tap out due to Americana, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion